A reading from the Gospel of John. Jesus showed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias, and he showed himself in this way. Gathered there together were Simon Peter, Thomas called the twin, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and two others of his disciples. Simon Peter said to them,
"I am going fishing."
They said to him, "We will go with you." They went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Just after daybreak, Jesus stood on the beach, but the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them,
"Children, you have no fish, have you?"
They answered him,
"No."
He said to them,
"Cast the net to the right side of the boat, and you'll find some."
So they cast it, and now they were not able to haul it in because there were so many fish. The disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter,
"It is the Lord."
When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on some clothes, for he was naked, and jumped into the sea. But the other disciples came in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not yet far off land, only about 100 yards off. When they had gone ashore, they saw a charcoal fire there with fish on it and bread. Jesus said to them,
"Bring some of the fish that you have just caught."
So Simon Peter hurried aboard and hauled the net offshore, full of large fish, 153 of them. And though there were so many, the net was not torn. Jesus said to them,
"Come and have breakfast."
Now none of the disciples dared to ask him, "Who are you?" because they knew it was the Lord. Jesus came and took the bread and gave it to them, and did the same with the fish. This was now the third time that Jesus appeared to the disciples after he was raised from the dead. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter,
"Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?"
He said to him,
"Yes, Lord, you know that I love you."
Jesus said to him,
"Feed my lambs."
a second time he said to him,
"Simon, son of John, do you love me?"
he said to him,
"Yes, Lord, you know that I love you."
Jesus said to him,
"Tend my sheep."
he said to him a third time,
"Simon, son of John, do you love me?"
Peter felt hurt because he said to him the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him,
Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you.
Jesus said to him,
"Feed my sheep. Very truly I tell you, when you were younger, you used to fasten your own belt and go wherever you wished. But when you grow old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will fasten a belt around you and take you where you do not wish to go."
He said this to indicate the kind of death by which he would glorify God. After he said this to him,
"Follow me."
the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
This is one of those texts where you're going to have to indulge me quite a bit. This text is very personal to me because in many ways it describes my own life, and it is the formula for how I see my role in ministry with you. I never wanted to do what I'm doing. I knew that I had to do it, but I didn't want to do it. It would have been much easier for me to stay in the boat where I was comfortable fishing, coaching baseball, or actually coaching baseball is pretty comfortable. I knew what I was doing, I was good at it, and other people were willing to let me keep doing it. But I was very comfortable there. The thing about being comfortable there is though I could not see Jesus from the boat. I knew there was somebody far off. I knew there was somebody calling to me, but I couldn't see Jesus sitting in the boat where I was comfortable. some particular point, I kind of was like Peter, I lost my head and jumped into the water. My guess is Peter realized that he was a long way off from the shore and probably should start swimming. And I found myself feeling that sense of drowning. I'm drowning out here. Somehow, though, I have to get to the shore because I think maybe for the first time in my life I have seen Jesus. When I got to the shore, though, I realized there were some things that were going to be really, really difficult. Because my tendency is I want everyone to like me. I don't like it when people tell me things that are uncomfortable, that they either don't like me or don't like what I'm doing or I'm making them upset. I don't like that. And I would very much like to go get back in the boat most of the time. Because what Jesus has laid out for a model of ministry for me is summed up in his conversation with Peter. He says what sounds like the same thing, but it's not the same thing, 3 different times. He first says, "Feed my lambs," meaning that there will be some very obvious lambs that I'm responsible for feeding. But there'll be some other lambs that aren't so obvious. They might be 90 years old, but they're still lambs. And they have to be fed the kind of food they can eat.